Hello and welcome back to Crap News. I am CRKB. And first of all, before we get into the actual crap news of today, I want to do a big massive thank you to everyone who has supported us since the upload first aired nearly a week ago. It has been mad. We have received some very, very, very good reviews from people saying on how we can better it as well. It's mad. To say the least. I didn't expect this at such a very early on stage. Yes, I know I basically blasted it all over social media and basically gave no one anywhere to hide other than to watch the goddamn video. But it means a lot to me that people have watched it. It means a lot to me that people have actually taken the messages that are in the video. I have received some criticisms that will be attached in today's crap news episode with in regard language. So we will be talking on that in length. Well, not in length. This video is only going to be about a 10-minute, 15-minute video. So we're going to get on into it. We may as well. It's not anything new. This is crap news. I'm CRKB and we're going to bring it crapper than ever. Let's do this. So, on this week's episode of Crap News, I really want to go into an in-depth talk on what I actually got criticised about in the last episode. Mainly, it came from 4 people about the language that was used in the video. And a lot of people were like, well, the 4 people were sitting saying to me, oh, it's very disappointing to see someone talking like that there in videos, especially if you're trying to become an influencer or whatever. I'm sitting there just going I'm not trying to become an influencer here, lads. Or ladies. I'm trying to just tell you what news I think is crap. So I'm going to talk about something that I think is absolute crap, which is what people think of the language of young people. Now, I say I'm young. I'm 24. But I know a lot of young people, especially we cousins and other family members and outside circles, and they're kids that curse. And it's mainly people on games, like online, like on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, that kind of thing. Now, it didn't start with that generation. Let's be honest. This started in Modern Warfare 2 era, whenever the lobbies used to be constant lobbies of mad cursing, whenever people used to call kids like little shits and other foul names. Whereas now, everyone is just called a noob. It's just the way of the world. Now, the language of young people, we can't, I'm not going to tell young people not to curse if I am not relative or if I'm not a guardian of them. It's not right for me to do so. I'm not saying that cursing is okay for young people to do. That's definitely not where I'm going with this here. It's that people learn cursing in many, many different ways. They learn it from high school, from their friends. Those kids then may learn it from their family back home. Their dad may work as a DIY man. And in that case, you're learning every fucking curse word that's possibly known in the Urban Dictionary by the age of 4. Because it's that mad. It's not one of those things that people are never going to learn unless you're absolutely sheltered to the high hell school, like you're being homeschooled. Online, you don't talk to anyone, or you do not watch any film that is 16 plus and you only watch 12A films, then you're probably never going to hear a curse word in any retrospect other than from your family. Now, I'm not saying we're ever going to test this here. It would be actually quite cool to actually test that out though. To actually see how many people learn cursing from their families and maybe that kind of thing. Maybe I might do an Instagram poll on it. I don't know. I might just do a poll on Facebook and see how that goes. But for now, it's going to be one of those things that people learn how to curse no matter what. And for people to give me shit about my language, the one thing I really do hate is whenever people say, oh, whenever you're cursing on this, it looks really bad on your family. It makes people think that you were brought up wrong. And you're sitting there just going, are you fucking nuts? That's not it at all. How dare you? How dare you even consider that I've been brought up wrong, or that anyone who has cursed on any YouTube or even on TV, whether it be a reality TV or even a TV series that's fictional, do not ever judge someone by their family on how they talk. Just because you don't like it does not mean that it is wrong. That is the whole point of this whole freedom of speech that we have in this country, is that people can say what they want when they want. Now, if they think they can say it without something being said about it, now, that's a different story. Like, it's me like telling someone to fuck off and then turning around and saying, no, you fuck off. You can't say that to me. Yes, I can. Yes, I can, because that's the whole point of this, is that freedom of speech has that effect on us, that we can say things, but saying it without cause or without thinking there's going to be something said about it, that's not how that works. It's not fair. And for people to say, oh, they've had a bad upbringing, that's why they talk like that there. Fuck off. My ma worked her arse off to raise me. And I know many people whose parents have raised them great. And they still curse. Because cursing is just something that we pick up along this route of what we call life. It's just there. It's something we all learn and something we adapt to. Maybe one day those curse words might be abandoned. Certain words have been abandoned because they have certain hurtful meanings behind them that can cause people very, very bad anxiety, very in-depth thought on, touch wood, never, ever, ever call someone by a name that means that they might go and do something stupid. So you touch wood and you pray to hell that you do not hurt anyone in that way, mentally, physically, or emotionally, because doing that there is one of the worst things as a human we can ever fucking do to someone who we say either is a friend, a family member, or even someone we barely even know. But if you want to be the cause of that there, you go right ahead, but just remember, when you go to bed at night, you're the cause of whatever they do next, which is fucking mad, because we don't have that support anymore for people to talk about this here, because they feel that they're going to be attacked because you say, oh, I only called you a name. Yes, you called me a name, but that name can really, really affect someone in a very negative way. So we really need to be careful of what we say and how we say it. Yes, fair enough, I did curse quite a lot in the last video. However, it was for comic effect, and it worked, because out of the 4 people, that's about, what, 6% out of the 100% of people who have watched the video so far didn't give a shit. I never said that I was coming into this here to please everyone. Not everyone's going to like this. Not everyone's going to sit down and spend 16 minutes watching one of these videos. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. But what I do give a fuck about is the fact that people cannot say without consequence that this here, my language or someone else's language, is wrong. Because that's not your place. That's fucking mad. Mad. And you think that's okay? No, it's not. Fuck off. Because yous are crap news. Yous are the people who make people think that they feel like crap. But let me just tell you this here. You're crap people if you think that that's the right thing to do. So, I didn't want to have to do this again, but in this episode, and probably next week's episode, I'm going to be talking about this here. But today's episode, I'm going to be talking about COVID again. And it's mainly about a post that I seen on Facebook, and you're going to have a wee look at it here now. This post says, the vaccine was never brought in for COVID. COVID was brought in for the vaccine. Now, my head fucking hurts, I'm not going to lie. I didn't want to have to do this shit again. I thought after the first episode I wouldn't have to talk about COVID, because I did go into a wee bit of detail, but this time I'm going to have to go into it again. I am going to scribble out the doctor's name at the bottom of this who said this, because again, I don't want anyone giving hate towards this man, because we know that the minute there's a wee bit of tension between people who are getting vaccinated, people who aren't. But that I will cover in next week's episode. At the moment, I just really want to say that makes no sense. Getting vaccinated is to help you survive COVID from getting sicker than what you would be getting. Now, do I believe the vaccine was out before COVID? Of course I don't. That makes no sense. How could you have made a vaccine for coronavirus whenever you needed the spike protein? So you needed the coronavirus, inject it and get the spike protein, do all that crap. I'm not a science buff. I don't know that shit. I really don't. But all I know is it doesn't make any sense. I've checked the logic on it. I've checked the science behind it. Done a bit of research. It doesn't make any sense. Getting vaccines created before the virus actually existed. Well, it could have been done, but I don't believe it's been done that way. The virus that we have is COVID-19. COVID-19 is a tree-branch connection coronavirus. So what happens is that there's so many coronaviruses that, yes, people see it on a death ball, kills coronavirus. But this is a new brand of it. This is a deadly brand of it. This is what caused the pandemic. And if they thought they had a vaccine before this pandemic even hit its apex, and you're fucking nuts, man. You're nuts. I don't get it. I don't get how people can still fearmonger like this here and scare people. I don't like it. Because, as I said in my last video, if you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. And if you don't have to. But next week's video will be discussing on what is actually happening in other countries in regards to getting vaccinated and non-vaccinated. And again, I'm not okay with the way it's been treated. But we will be discussing that next week. I really just want to talk about this because it's really fucking annoying that people are still doing this fearmonger crap. Trying to scare people into not getting vaccinated. Trying to scare people thinking if you get vaccinated, you're actually just doing yourself no good. I don't want to hear that. I have a lot of friends and family that work in the NHS. Every NHS staff member, nurse, doctor, ambulance driver, have been vaccinated. You think of what the NHS does for us here in Northern Ireland and in the greater United Kingdom. They do a lot. They are here to help us as people to get better from illness, to help us after injury, to save our lives in surgery, and more importantly, they deal with people that have mental issues as well. Mental health issue has been a skyrocketing thing in this country for fucking years. They're still no good at it. But the problem with it is that the NHS staff have to deal with that there. They have to deal with people who have dementia, who have violent tendencies, who come into the NHS hospitals drunk and have to deal with violence. And that's not okay. Because these people have put their lives on the line for their job for years. And the fact that people are now saying that the vaccine will not do anything for them is actually heartbreaking because it's putting a lot of demoralisation into the NHS because they don't need to hear that. They were one of the first people, well, first groups of people to be vaccinated was NHS staff. And in the private health section, they got their staff all vaccinated. I'm mumbling a wee bit because it's very, very hurtful to see what's happening right now in regards to fear mongering. And it's not okay. These people are causing me to get really upset about this because this is not a good time for us to be divided. We need to be united at this point. Everyone, not just in Northern Ireland, in England, in Scotland, in Wales, in the entire fucking world, we all have to band together to beat this thing before we can even get back to normal. We need to get back to normality. We need to get back to a place where we can all live our lives like we should, free, and be able to go places that we want to go without having to worry about the consequences of coming home, having to isolate for 2 weeks, having to do this, that and the other. It's madness. We need to get ourselves back in track here. If we don't, God knows where we'll be in next year. God knows where we might be in the next 5 years. We could be still at this very point. Unknown, uncharted waters. It's not okay. So for the fearmongers, I tell you this now. Shut up. Stop fearmongering. because you are going to do no good here. You are doing good in your own eyes, but you're not doing good in everyone else's. So just remember that there. Just because you think you're saying what's good doesn't mean it's good. Because in my eyes, you look at the title of this, it's crap news. And you made crap news. So, I did go into a bit of a serious mode there. I'm going to try and go back into a bit of comedy mode here. The US has now urged people who have pet goldfish to not release them into the wild. Now, I don't know how the Americans are keeping goldfish alive, because like every time I've had a goldfish, it's died. And like, I took out my goldfish. Quotes. I don't know if I did, but I did my best. But in America, people are actually releasing their goldfish into lakes, and it's actually causing a lot of problems. I didn't actually realise that goldfish could cause this kind of an issue. What happens is, a goldfish is supposed to be, I think it's 5.1 centimetres at home. Now this all this article comes from is from the BBC News. This is all BBC News related. You can check it up on the BBC News website if you want. Just so you know, I'm not talking shit. But what this is basically a warning that the government have given out. Well, the US state of Minnesota has actually said it. They've given this as a warning to the residents not to be releasing goldfish into lakes. The reason for it being is that the goldfish are only 5.1 centimetres in their aquariums at home. That is the largest they should get to. But if they're released into the wild, they can actually grow, I think it's either 10 or 12 times bigger than that, which is fucking mad. You look at the size of goldfish whenever you get it, and then what it could turn into. That is crazy. And what actually happens is, them goldfish actually cause a bit of an issue for the other like fish. I wonder if David Attenborough is ever going to do this. He's going to be sitting there, he's going to be doing like a scene underneath the water. It's going to be like, now you see the great white shark encircle its prey. Oh shit! It's a goldfish! Shark, run! You're never going to see that. Because what happens is, the goldfish are put into lakes and they're eating, like, they're becoming rivals of other fish. I don't know which fish they're becoming rivals of, but they're rivals of fish. So basically what's happening is the government are having to go in and do cleanups and taking the goldfish out of the lakes so that the other fish can survive. Now, again, I don't know how like goldfish systematically work. Whenever we have them, we feed them flakes. Whenever they go out into the ocean or the lakes, what do they eat? Do they eat normal fish food? Or what? Because fish food to me was them flakes. I don't know what fish eat. I don't do documentaries on fish. So I don't know. I don't really give a shit. All I know is that this is actually becoming a really big issue in the US. So, like, please keep that there, because, like, we don't want that over here. Because, like, I know a lot of people, like, go to fairs and carnivals and all that there here and win goldfish. And, like, I don't want to see goldfish whenever I'm going into a lake or somewhere. I can go for a swim, not get hit by a fucking 10-ton Tessie goldfish. You wise? Fuck that. But it's just one of those things that I thought, this is actually serious crap, because it's a goldfish. And I could be completely wrong. I could be saying this here, and these goldfish are actually very bad for the economy in regards like other fish, in regards other like industry, in regards to water. I don't know how it affects it, but it's mad. So I'm going to back on the US side here. I'm going to say to people here, whenever you have goldfish, if you feel like you've got too big for his aquarium, don't release them into the wild. Find a different place that you can go to. Find an aquarium wherever that you can drop them off to, and they'll probably take them. There's more than likely going to be an aquarium that can take them. There's no point throwing them into the lake, because there's two things can happen. One, he's going to become a 10-ton Tessie goldfish, or he's just going to die. So what's the point? Give him to an aquarium. Give him to someone who wants a goldfish. Be kind. Show kindness. Be not like the US and trying to do a 3-year plan cleanup of trying to get goldfish out of the lake. Oh, these are lunatics. I may just make crap news a little bit more funny. So we're going to wrap up there, folks. Today's video has mainly been a very serious video, a little bit of a comical element into it, so hopefully more people will find it more appealing. If not, we'll find out. Leave comments down below in the video and let me see what you all thought. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. And yeah, it's been great. This is episode 2 of Crap News, so hopefully next week's episode will be even better. We'll find some better crap news other than what the shit I've been talking about. And I'll be going in a little bit more depth on the coronavirus things that are happening in Europe and hopefully covering them in a little bit more detail. But for now, I've been CRKB. I'm going to do a wee weather segment, which is just basically to tell you, people in Northern Ireland, it's fucking warm. Yes, I get it. We're in an amber heat warning. It's currently 26 degrees at, I believe it's 4 o'clock now whenever I'm shooting this video. On today's date, Wednesday. No idea what date it actually is. I don't give a shit. It's Wednesday. It's hot as fuck outside. Take your tops off. Enjoy the day. Go to the water. Enjoy the water. And please, for the love of God, if you have a dog, put your hand on the ground for 5 seconds. If you can't hold your hand on the ground for 5 seconds, your 4-legged friend can't walk, because you'll burn the paws off the wee shit. Okay? This has been CRKB, Crap News, CRKB Productions, Monocle Panda feature. Out.